Next thing you know, when I signed the contract, it stated that I could no longer do my dolls, that San Oner had to just die, and that I was only going to work for that brand that we were making.
This is the True Hustle Podcast with your host, JR.
This is the True Hustle Podcast with your host, JR.
I met you at that event when you were saying, you mentioned that you paid $25,000 to an attorney because you got into some corporate shit.
Into some pedo.
Into some corporate stuff, right? And that's what caught my attention. And I'm like, that really happens in business, but people don't see that side. But caught my interest, but I'm like, okay, let's back it up. San Oner.
Correct.
How did that name originate?
Okay, my name is Sand. That's the artist name that I chose.
Okay.
When I was in high school. You have to have an alias when you're an artist. So I'm like, all right, I paint dolls. What is my name? So I picked Sand. 4 words, easy. And the words, I can twirl them. The S could twirl, the D can twirl. So it was cute. Sand. Now, when it was time to pick whether I was going to paint by myself or with a lot of members of a team, I had to make that decision. Do I paint by myself or do I join a crew? Do I join a graffiti crew, an art crew? That means it's me and 20, 30 other people, 40 other people. And if there's chapters in different states, that's like 1,000 people, right? So I was like, okay, what's the pros and cons? If I'm by myself, I have no protection. No one backs me up. I am fully by myself, a oner. But if I'm not a oner and I join a circle of friends that do the same thing that I do, that have the same paint interest, what does that come with? So then I got in depth with all these people that had crews. That's what they're called, crews, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, so if you have issues with another crew that does art, what does that mean to me? Well, then they're your issues too, Sand.
So it's like a hood.
Yeah, it's like a gang. So whatever beef, whatever drama, whatever issues you have, automatically pass on to you, JR.
Dang.
So I'm like, okay, I have a lot of walls. Ever since I was little, I would always get a lot of walls and paint a lot of murals by myself. U-Hauls, trucks, buildings. And I've always enjoyed and loved asking for permission from the business owners. Because the little lady at the marqueta has nothing to do with somebody writing over her business and writing over her sign that she just freshly paid for. You know, she's just trying to survive. And then I come and just throw my art on it and ruin her business sign. So I like to ask for permission. Hola, I would like to paint your wall. Would you please give me permission? And from here on, I will always paint that wall. So I make verbal deals with people, you know, with all the señoras. Hola, me deja pintar la pared. And they'll be like, sí, tú píntale, tú píntale.
Dale gas, chingas madre.
Yeah. And a lot of older people are like, sí, está bien. Lo que tú quieras.
And how old were you when you were doing that?
16. So I started running through the streets of LA when I was 16 years old. For some reason, I put down my Harry Potter books and I was like, I'm going to be a chola when I was 12. Because I was like, I don't know why, but the streets are always calling me. I want to read this Harry Potter book, but everybody outside bumping, andale, andale, mami, iya, iya, I was like, that looks cooler.
It's calling me.
Or like Little Rob, take two, let's go. I was like, oh my God, I want to go outside. And that's what I did. But then when I realized that I could do street art and I discovered graffiti at 16, I was like, you know what? I want to change my direction. So from 12 to 15, I wanted to be a chola, right? I'm going to say wanted. No affiliation here. And then by 16, I was like, I want to do art on the street, in the streets. And that's when I had the choice. Do you want to be in a graffiti crew or do you want to be a oner? And I was like, you know what? I'm a woman. I'm by myself. And I don't want to be with 30 guys in the same room. So I'm just going to be a oner. No bukkake here. No, but for real. I was just like, it's too much. It's too strong, too rough. I want to be soft. I want to be cute. And I want to do pretty things. I want to wake up in the morning, drink a matcha latte, grab my little chihuahua and go paint a wall in the morning and take as long as I want.
And with style.
Yeah. And I want to be known as San Oner. And I want all the girls to love my work. I don't want to be running. I don't want to be in the middle of the night. I'm a woman. What can happen? If I'm in the middle of the night doing a doll, you know? So you gotta choose your battles. So my battle was, I'm gonna be a oner. And everybody was like, you cannot. If you're a oner, you have no backup. Everyone's gonna come after you. I'm like, but why? Why would they come after me? Little did I know success was coming. Ah! I had no idea success will make everybody turn on you. Apparently it does.
It
Then I
does.
started being known. Right away, people started knowing San Oner. And then I started growing. Then my business started to grow. Then my brand started to grow. Then money started coming in. But I saw everything. I saw all the changes in people. I lost so many friends. Everyone that would be like, San, you should be in our little circle of painters. And I'll be like, no, thank you very much. I like to be by myself. I like to have my own problems if I have any. I don't like to be responsible for others' existing issues, you know? And then, I don't know, life just changed. And I went from just only wanting to paint walls to wanting to produce products to wanting to be only in my studio and to not wanting to be in the streets anymore. Because one day I was like, how many murals can I paint? And how many issues can I get into with people that go and tag my walls? Because since I'm a oner, a lot of guys feel entitled, like, oh, well, fuck her. I'm going to go over her shit. What is she going to do? Well, I can't fight you physically, but we could go at it all day and see whose finger gets tired first. Because I do this for a living. I do this for a living. So I'm going to go paint that wall over and over again. And you know what the crazy thing is? Because I'm a oner and I'm a girl, I'm supposed to just be like, fine, JR, keep the wall. You put your name on it. I'm gonna just lose this one. Hell no, JR. I'm coming right back with my chihuahua. And I'm gonna go over your name and I'm gonna claim back my wall. And then that's when the beef starts. Because instead of saying, oh, I went over her, they'll be like, she went over me, she disrespected me, so from now on we're all going over her. And then everyone's like, yeah.
But it's like, fuck her, you did it first.
Exactly.
And I just responded.
But because it's me, it doesn't work like that. Because I'm making money off my art. And I see it, you know? The dream as an artist is to make money. And not all of us get that dream, that satisfaction. Not all of us get to meet our collectors. Look at how many artists died broke and poor and didn't get to make it, you know? And once they're dead, then they get to rise up. So I'm so thankful that I've got to experience that in the flesh.
In the flesh.
So I feel it, I see it, and I'm like, that's fine. Go, JR. And we're just going to go at it. You tag me, I go over you. You tag me, I go over you. I'm never giving up. This woman is not giving up. And you can get mad and you cry about it, but we're going to go at it. And one day we can have coffee and talk about it when you get tired of it.
We'll have a fucking mocha latte and talk about and settle our issues.
Yeah, talk about
properly.
Talk about why you're so angry. Why are you so angry whenever you see my doll? Calm the fuck down. It's just a doll.
How did you develop this interest though? Growing up, did you see somebody doing graffiti? Like were your parents like artists? Like how did somebody just say, I'm just gonna start drawing? And
my mom's an amazing woman from Mexico. My mom's an amazing woman from Mexico City. She's a little Mexican lady that works inside of a lunch truck, making tacos, breakfast burritos, breakfast sandwiches, burgers, enchiladas. You know, she is a cocinera in the lonchera. She wakes up every day 3 a.m. to 6 p.m. to work. And me, I'm this little girl that wants to be an artist. But in the Hispanic culture, art is not a form of success.
Yep.
So I had to fight it. Like, I'm going to be an artist, Mom. So then, while she was cooking in the lunch truck, now my mom is retired. I bought her a house, and she's been retired for 6 years.
Bars. Heard that? She bought her a house.
That was the trade-off. That was the trade-off that I gave to the universe. You give me money, you give me success, and I will give my mother stability, peace of mind, and I will take her out of her struggle. And I will give her the American dream. And whoever else I can pull in with me. My tia as well, she works with me. My tia and her came to LA, East LA, in the late 80s, early 90s, when they were teenagers. And instead of going to high school, they went straight to working in lunch trucks. So they worked in lunch trucks for like 30 years. So now they get to wake up in the morning, go to McDonald's, they comprar una hash brown, un cafecito. They go to the warehouse and they just pack dolls. Their stress now is packing dolls and not putting extra art in the orders. Because they'll be putting extra items. I'm like, Mama, you gave her a lunch bag. That's $75. She only wanted an air freshener. What? She only wanted a $10 air freshener.
And she said, es que me cayó bien. But you never met her. Pero me cayó bien porque su nombre se apellida Rodríguez.
Yeah.
And gave her some shit.
I'll literally be like, Mom, tía, dejen de regalar cosas. Esta orden dieron extra. But the girls sent back the extra art. But watch it. Like, I don't get crazy with them. Like, what are you doing?
And how does that make you feel? That you know that you provided and your art, even though our culture will be like, hey, art, ponte a trabajar. And now with all that, and you're like, I'll buy you a house. I'm going to take care of my aunt. I'm going to take care of so-and-so. How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel great. It makes me feel like I have a purpose every day to wake up. That I'm not just an artist painting walls for fun. That it's actually a business, because it is an actual business. I have 2 warehouses. I have to clean them, maintenance them. I wake up every morning and I check my emails. Then at night, I develop products and I figure out what's next. And then every day I'm thinking of what's next. What sale do I do? What product do I drop? How do I drop it? How much is it going to be? Is the price point going to affect my lifestyle? And is it going to pay for my bills and all my family's bills and all my employees' bills? Is the price for this notebook at $75 going to benefit me, or am I losing money? Do I think recession, or do I just go with whatever I want? You know what I mean? Like, I have to think about all that before I bring out a product. Then I have to bring it in. So I do my products everywhere. In LA, in the US, in Mexico, overseas. So it depends where the product comes from, the way I price it. I'm like, how much, how long, how much time, transportation, how much it takes. But all that motivates me. When I see my mom and my aunt and my employees, they're all women. I only have women working for me. During the evening, sometimes I have men. They're the ones that do all the actual labor.
Ahí está Bernie, este pinche, este güey sí come frijoles.
Yeah, he's tall. Come on, let's go. Let's go work. Yeah, I love it. I feel so fulfilled. You know, when I make money, it's not just me. If I sell a notebook for $75, I didn't take those 75. Out of those 75, 25 goes into the rent, the space that it took for a while until it sold. And the rest goes into packaging and labeling and the work that my assistant does. And the rest goes into my employees and their payment. And then so out of those 75, I probably made like $25-$30. I don't make the full. And then the rest goes into how much it cost me to make the freaking notebook. So I probably made like $20. You know? That's what people sometimes don't understand. Like, as a business owner, you don't make the full amount. If you have a restaurant and you sell a taco for $5,
bars.
Yeah.
Learn.
If you sell a taco for $5, the owner didn't get the $5. You probably got $1.50. But we're happy for that $1.50. Woo! Thank God.
There's margins, right? A product could cost you, if you could sell it for $20, but you got to pay for your overhead. Now you got to pay for the employees. Now you got to pay for insurance. And those $20, you might make $6 profit.
Spectrum Internet, the lease of the building you rent, the marketing, the photo shoots, having the Shopify page, buying the labels, the boxes, the bubble wrap, all the tables you buy. I mean, I guess you count the tables in the end from the beginning investment. The tables you have to pack the orders, it all goes into it. Like, I had an assistant that was like, you can afford to pay me more. You sell a backpack for $350. I'm like, all right. I sell a backpack for $350. At that time, I had 2 galleries, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay, I have 2 galleries. And right now we have a warehouse. And I have 3 other employees. And then I have you as 4 employees. And then we have light, internet, maintenance, the guy that comes disinfect everything. I don't make those $350. I'm like, I pay light for my warehouse and for the 2 galleries, and internet for the 2 galleries, and employees for the 2 galleries. Oh, and we have a security guard in each gallery too, let's not forget. And the photo shoot we did for that backpack. And the marketing we did. And the Shopify page too, don't forget that. I'm like, I didn't make $350 from the backpack. I probably made $80 profit. But it's not $350.
And what did she say to that?
She just shut it up. She shuttered it up.
Yeah.
She was like, that makes sense. I'm like, you gotta think about all this, girlfriend.
But people don't understand that shit.
Yeah.
People think everything is profit.
It's
Tú
not.
estás rico. You're pocketing all this fucking money. It's like, motherfucker, do you know I got to pay property taxes? Do you know I got to pay this, pay that? And once you really tally everything, once you add everything, yeah, the profits ain't what's so lucrative of what people think.
I mean, we're still coming up, but it's not the full come up.
But it's a lot.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's like, yeah, I might get a piece here, but I get a lot of pieces. And then it ends up being a lot.
Is the juice worth the squeeze? It is.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of little mental fuckery that goes into it until you get to the actual money of it. You can buy a ticket and go to Puerto Vallarta.
How long did it take you to start profiting? Because when the reality is, once we start a business, the first years or the first year or so, it's rough.
The first years you're dumb, you're weird, you're stupid. She swears. What are they trying to do? Get a job. Everyone's trying to get in your head. And every scenario that you go through is trying to mess with your head as well. No sales. That's the worst part. No sales. No clients. And no credibility. Like when I started when I was 16. By 17, I graduated high school and I started painting signs. So I would walk around LA and I would take the bus and I would go paint signs. So I'll be like, hola señora, pinto rótulos. ¿Quiere que le pinte un rótulo? A ver qué vende tacos. Haga un especial el miércoles. Haga un 2x1. A ver, tacos de, no sé, de asada. 2x1 cada martes. ¿Cuál es su día más despacio? Pues los miércoles. Bueno, hagamos una oferta, un 2x1 o $1 cada taco cada martes. Hagamos una venta. ¿Quiere vender? Yo quiero vender. Bueno, pues ¿cuánto me cobras? A ver, por sus ventanas, déjele dibujo lo que le voy a poner. 2x1, un plato con 2 taquitos o un taquito bailando. I love it when they let me do characters. But when they make me do real shit, like a real plato de comida con carnita, I'll be like, this is boring. Still life. That's what it's called, still life art. I want to do cartoon. So some people will let me, they'll be like, sí, es un taquito ahí con una, bailando con lentes. I'm like, oh, yeah. So I'll be like, okay, le voy a cobrar 150 por su ventana. No, eso está muy caro, mija. Mejor para la otra. Pues, ¿cuándo es para la otra? ¿Cuánto me quiere pagar? No, te pago unos 120, está bien, pero me lo da ya. Bueno, aquí tienes. And I'll go right outside. No procrastination, no. Let me put you in my schedule. Straight to the money. And I'll be there, paint the whole sign, get my paint rollers, paint everything, outline it, and then the next 2 hours, boom, she had a sign. Next shop, next shop, next shop, next shop. And I'll walk Whittier Boulevard, Atlantic, Beverly, Olympic, Washington, South Central, San Pedro. I'll walk every single street in the hood, not embarrassed. But I was embarrassed. But on the outside, I'm not embarrassed. On the outside, I'm a hustler. But on the inside, I'm failing. Like, oh, God. But no one's going to know that. Right? You can't show your weakness. You got to keep it gangster, homie. How's business?
Booming.
But you can't talk about that, though. But before you couldn't. I think now people are more open to talking about their flaws. Especially successful people now can talk about their flaws. Before you couldn't really say it, you know. But I remember there was days where I'll walk around and I would get no window signs. I would get no sign painting. And there was times where I'll be painting signs and I'll be doubting myself. I'll be like, oh my God. I'm never going to be known as San Juaner if I keep painting signs. Nobody knows that I did that sign right there. I need to paint my dolls. So then I started smuggling in a doll in my sign painting. So I'll be like, hey, beauty salon. Let me paint your beauty salon. Oh, and for Valentine's, I could do a doll that's a Cupid. And I can paint for I can paint your business and I can paint seasonal art. Thanksgiving, I'll do like a little doll with a turkey. So I was sneaking dolls into businesses. And then people started noticing. I'm like, hey, I saw your dolls. Hey, I saw your dolls. And then I got even smarter. I'll be like, hola, ¿ocupan rótulo? Le puedo poner, aceptamos EBT, se venden cigarros, coldest beer in town. Because every liquor store swears they got the coldest beer in town.
Especially down there in the hood, huh?
Everybody got the coldest beer in town. So then I started thinking, hey, you guys have walls. Hey, and can I have your wall after? I really want to paint a doll on your wall. And they'll be like, yeah. So now I painted a sign and I got a wall forever. Like, I have walls that I have painted for 10 years that the ladies know. Guys go in there trying to convince them, like, let me paint the wall. I'll do it better than her. Look at my letters. Look at it closely. And they'll be like, nope.
That's way. San Oner. No
Hey,
más,
yeah.
cabrón.
Yeah, because I'm like, don't give in. Don't let them wink at you, señora. Que no te sobornen, que no te convenzan. And they're like, vienen todos los días a pedirme la pared, ya estoy harta. Pues díganles que no. En cuanto le pregunten, digan no ya.
A chingar a su madre.
Hola, quiero pintar. No. I want to. I'm like, just lay down the law. This is my wall. So then I started painting signs, but it still wasn't working out. So I decided to just focus on my dolls and not paint signs anymore.
And how old were you when you started just
So-
focusing on the dolls?
By 2014, I got my studio in downtown LA, right? On 9th and Spring. And all my neighbors were like, no, what are you doing? You're good at your garage. Why do you want to go pay rent? I'm like, I want to be a successful professional artist. I need my own art studio. I'm going to downtown. So who's coming with me? So one of my friends came with me, right? So we're right there, in my little bucket, going to downtown LA, driving through Olympic, going over the LA River Bridge to go look for a studio. And I was very honest with all the landlords. I don't have credit. I don't have renter's history, but I have cash. I can pay. So one man named Glenn on Spring and 9th, he was like, cash is king. So if you have the money, then I could do you the lease. I'm like, I have no history of nothing. He's like, I don't care. So I was able to do it. And I got the space for rent, $1,350. And as a business owner, that was my first real move. Like, okay, now we have an office. What am I going to sell? Oh, how am I going to pay the rent? So my first instinct, I need associates. I need business partners, but not for me as a business partner, but more like I need associates that can come into the studio and we all share it. So I called 4 friends that I knew would do it. They all agreed. So we all were paying like $300 and something. That felt better. Like realistically, I don't even know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna do it. I got the studio.
That's what's up.
I got the studio and I got Instagram, and that's how we're gonna make it happen. And I got the skills. I just have to talk more on camera. I just have to talk more on camera on Instagram, and that's what's gonna work out. So it was me and 3 friends, and next thing you know, they all started leaving me. Eventually, in the span of 6 months, they all left because they couldn't afford it. One got mad because he couldn't put up a Bob Marley painting. I'm like, wait, you're a photographer. You're going to be doing photography in here. You can't put that Bob Marley painting. You can only put a painting of mine. Just like I'm not going to put a photo of another photographer up. We only put up our work that represents each other. That Bob Marley painting you got in Venice Beach can't be up there. And he got so mad he left the studio. I'm like, Fran, I'm not going to put a photo of another photographer up. If I do, it has to be your photography that we're going to go blow up, frame, and hang up. Does that make sense to you?
And he didn't understand that concept, though.
No. I'm like, that Bob Marley painting with velvet material that you want to put up, it's not it. And he's like, well, if I can't put what I want, then I'm out of here. I'm like,
peace, homie.
That's 2 people down the drain. Then the third guy paid the whole year up front, right? Hold on, it's getting kind of hot right now. This story's steamy. This is kind of wild. I don't even know if I should talk about it on camera. So the third guy.
Exclusive. You see this?
Woo!
Straight. True Hustle Podcast, baby.
Third guy was like, I'll pay for the whole year. I didn't even know him. He came out of Instagram. And next thing you know, 3 months later, he disappears. He doesn't come to my warehouse, to the studio anymore. And the little office, it was a little private office that he had. The other 2 guys will share the same big office, right? The guy disappears. And for like a month, I waited for him. I called him. He never answered me. but he paid for the whole year. I'm like, I'm not giving him a refund. I already spent it. But I'm paying stuff, you know. I'm paying. I'm covering everyone else's rent because they all left me. So I'm like, well, I still have that one guy's money, so I can cover, and I'll figure out later on the rest. But I'm not breaking, and I'm not breaking my lease either, and I'm not a quitter, and I'm sure not a loser, because my mom Maria didn't come to America for me to be a quitter, a loser, or a crybaby. My mom didn't have the border for me to be a quitter, so I'm gonna figure it out. So the guy disappears. And then he comes back like 3 months later, and I'm like, I'm not giving you a refund, and I'm not giving you your money back. He's like, no, I'm just calling to apologize. I've been in jail. I was like, really? He's like, yeah, I've been in jail. I just got out. He's like, I got raided, and your office was gonna get raided too, so we just emptied it all out. I'm like, what were you doing in there? Don't even tell me. I'm gonna hang up right now. I'm gonna hang up. We're probably being tracked. So I met up with him. We had dinner. He's like, I'm sorry. It's all good. Like, you don't have to pay me back. You know, I'm sorry. I'm like, oh, my God. No refunds.
Fuck.
I know, but in the end, I learned to pay the bills by myself. All the men left me. I love men. I don't think all men are the same. I still believe in you guys. But all the men left me. And I was like, oh, my God, you would think I'll be the one to break. But I didn't. And then to figure out how to pay that rent after I had already spent the money that the guy paid for the whole year to cover the rent, I ended up doing watercolors. So I'll do watercolors, right? Big watercolor papers, and I'll do a doll. I'll do 10 watercolors a day. And people were able to DM me and pull up and buy the watercolor right there. $250 each watercolor. It was maybe half the size of this. $250 each watercolor. 10 a day. $2,500 I was making a day. Every single day.
A day?
Monday through Friday. And that was like when I was barely starting. So I was like, I hacked it. So for like 4 months, I was doing that watercolors. So every day I wake up, drink a coffee, get an energy drink, and go to downtown in my little car, in my little troquita. And then from there, I was able to get myself a little Jeep Wrangler that I wanted. And then the rent was just paying itself on its own, right? And then during that, I started making dolls and adding names to them, adding personalities. And I was like, is this really real? Do I even believe in this? Like, the doll has a name and a personality? Like, oh, the doll's going through a heartbreak and she's sad. Her boyfriend's a cholo.
Oh, fuck.
Like, all the stories that I was creating, I'm like, I gotta believe it. And I'm like, wait, I do believe it. These are all my stories throughout my life that I can break into each doll. Like this doll here, her name is Sandal. And Sandal represents no emotions. So she closes all the emotions of the dolls. Heartbreak, deception, sadness, jealousy. This one's just like, leave me the fuck alone. So this one's like, no emotions, right? But anyways, I'm doing these dolls. And during that whole time of me finding myself as I was doing watercolors, a company comes. And they're like a big company, okay? Everyone knows who they are. The president of that company comes and she's like, let's create a company together. And all the influencers, everyone that we use for this company, I'm going to make sure we use them for you. And you're going to be popping, Sand. Because you are going to pop, but I'm going to make you pop harder. And she was a woman from LA, from Mexico, raised here in LA. So I was like, wow, she looks like me. She is me. And she wants to elevate me. Now we're in 2015, a year into me getting that studio. And I already figured out how to pay the bills. I'm good. And then 2015, I retired my mom because I'm already feeling baller. So I'm like, Mom, stop working. I got it. How expensive could she be? Little did I know.
Oh, shit.
The uñas. No, I love my mom. But she's a little expensive, man. But she deserves it. So she's like, let's do a brand. I'm like, but I already have a brand. Next thing you know, when I signed the contract, it stated that I could no longer do my dolls. That San Juaner had to just die. And that I was only going to work for that brand that we were making. But it wasn't a we. Because she was the one that was going to get paid first, but I wasn't. And then she was designing stuff, right? But that I didn't like. I'm like, oh, that looks tacky. oh, well, you don't know nothing. We're working with a Nickelodeon designer. I'm like, yeah, but I'm the doll maker. I don't like the way you're designing that. I was like, and wait, you're making pillows, socks, stickers, and T-shirts and sweaters. That's what I already started making. So you're competing with what I already make. I'm like, wait a minute. And where's my logo at? Because Simpsons has Matt Groening, and Matt Groening's name is right there on the bottom. So you know who the creator of Simpsons is. So I even went to freaking Spencer's and bought some stuff of freaking Simpsons. I'm like, look, Matt Groening. The Simpsons, Matt Groening. My logo has to be in here. And she's like, oh, no. Your logo's not going to be in there. I signed a contract because she was like, I'm going to get you a better studio. It's in my best interest that you're making money. You will never be broke again or struggle. I will guarantee you that. So I draw 7 dolls, apparently in good graces. After I do the dolls, now she's like, well, you have to come to photo shoot and you have to promote the collections that we're going to drop. And I'm like, wait. So my logo's not in there. My signature is not in there.
But you got to promote it.
I have no control of the direction of the designs. Everything looks tacky. I don't like it. So when do I get paid again? And I signed the contract, right, with the illusion that I was going to have a cooler studio. Once I look at the contract, I can't even understand it. So I'm like, what did I sign? And she's like, well, you have no control of the artist direction of the brand. You cannot have any input. It's in the contract if you read it. You do not get paid until we start making money. So I'm like, so when do you start making money? Well, after we start selling. But first, we have to get our money back that we spent on making everything. I'm like, how much money you spent? $21,000. I'm like, what? No, I know how much all this cost is. You're lying to me. And they're like, and our promotion and our marketing. I was like, so what about my marketing? What about, apparently, I'm selling to my clients what I already make, but that is yours that I'm not even going to make money off of until you make. I'm like, oh my God, what did I sign? I'm like, so do I get paid at all for those $7? Nope, it's not in the contract. So I signed a bad contract where I don't get paid for my artwork. I do not get paid for my time. I do not get paid for my promotions. I have to show up and promote, post on Instagram, and be a part of the marketing. But I do not get paid for that. It's part of my artist, duties.
What in the fuck? When they gave you this contract, did you just go with what she said? Because it was in good faith?
Yeah.
And you were like, what? New studio? Let's go.
On some hood shit, on some palabra shit.
But you know what the funny part is? Is that in corporate America, they're real fucking gangsters.
Oh, yeah.
With a fucking pin.
Mm-hmm.
They don't got guns. They got pins. And those pins are fucking like a sword.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay.
I went with the palabra she gave me. In the hood? Palabra, yes. JR. You got my word, JR. I would never do you wrong. That's literally what I thought it would be, like, okay, for sure, let's do it.
And she was Latina?
Latina, from Southgate. From Oaxaca, Mexico. No, Guerrero, Mexico. Like, she was like, I thought she would be dope. I'm like, oh, she's from LA like me. She's older. She's been around the block. She looks smart. She's a professional. She's been in the clothing game for so long. I'm a believer in her. I have to stop being so untrustworthy, No, I have to stop not trusting people and be so, shielded.
But that's the way we are because that's how we grew up.
Yeah, don't trust nobody. Trust no man. So I'm like, okay, fine, I'm going to trust her. And then it just backfired.
All right. How did you overcome? What was the next step? When she started making all these restrictions, no, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this, and no, you don't get paid for this. What the fuck? It's my brand.
Right.
This is my dolls.
Yeah.
This is my stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What steps did you take after that?
So that's when I was like, okay, let me talk to all my gangster homies and see what we're going to do. And they're like, you're from East LA? Can we say bad words?
Yeah.
They're like, we're from East LA. You're from East LA. Fuck those bitches. We'll fucking pull up on them. We'll fuck them up. And I'm like, I don't think that's how it works.
No, it's kind of corporate here. So like, we can't fight and shoot people. So like, we gotta deal with it other ways.
Yeah. So I'm like, I don't think that's how it works. And they're like, well, because she was sending me letters, cease and desist letters, that I couldn't create anything anymore. So I'm like, well, you're not paying me, and you're telling me I can't sell my art anymore. So, what, I go back to working at Pollo Campero? I need to get paid, and if you're not paying me, I'm going to get paid. Well, you cannot create your artwork anymore. You have to wait until we release the brand that we're working on. And I'm like, look, I just ignored the cease and desist letters. But what my homies did tell me, they were like, you're a gangster from East LA. You're a gangster-ass bitch from East LA. Fuck them. I was like, you know what? That's true. So I went back to my studio the next day, and I'm right there like, I got air fresheners for sale. I got these dolls for sale. And I got this, and I got that on my website right now. And then I went to go see a lawyer that I found on Yelp. I found her, and she did the trademarking for the Fast and the Furious tires, the rims.
No,
right?
those are trademark?
Apparently they have a trademark.
No way.
They're custom rims. So I saw that, and I saw the trademark paperwork and stuff. So I'm like, so she's a trademark and copyright lawyer. So I go see her, and she has an office in downtown, and she's like, it's $25,000 to break the contract, to trademark all your dolls, to copyright all your dolls, to do an LLC for you, business formation, and to do 2 more contracts that you need in the future. Whatever you need. She gave me a whole combo deal, right? And I'm like, oh, all right, sounds good.
25 grand? I have them in my sock.
Yeah.
Right now. Déjame lo saco.
Aquí está. Yeah, when she told me that, I was like, $25,000. Okay. I'll come back. I'm like, is that the lease? She's like, that's the lease. She said, because I charge about $1,500 per doll. So I'm like, per doll.
It sounds about right.
I have about 20. I have 20 dolls. Plus the contract, it would have been maybe like $50K, you know, for her actual original price.
So you trademarked each individual one.
Yeah.
That's why it ended up being so much.
Yeah.
Because I trademarked that, and I paid.
How much was that?
I paid $2,500.
Okay.
But I did 2. Was it 2?
2 classes?
2 classes, I believe.
Each one of my dolls has 3 classes. So it's my
this
doll.
one has 3.
And then I do 3 different things with the dolls. My art prints, my air fresheners, postcards, so paper print, paper media. Then I do accessories. And then I do clothing.
Oh, okay. Yes, I did 3. I trademarked the logo, I trademarked the podcast, and I trademarked the merch.
Okay.
That's why I was like, when you said 25 grand, I was like, damn, how much did I pay? 2,500. And I was like, damn. Okay, but you had a whole bunch of stuff.
I have a lot of dolls. So what
It makes sense.
The deal she was able to give me was because the doll kind of has like, you know, big eyes, but what changes is the clothing, the hair. So the lingo has to change, like big eyes, long eyelashes, hair, curls in the hair. So only like the hair, maybe the clothing has to change. Doll has glasses. Doll with boots, long boots, brown boots with straps, buckles. Doll with big hair, green leaf on the hair, green jacket. So all this lingo that you have to put in there to be exact for each doll, you know? So she trademarked the name, the doll, the likeness of it, my name, San Oner, the logo. You know, all these things went into play. And then she sat there and found loopholes in this contract, you know? And those girls were so mad about it. They were so angry about it. And I was just so sad, you know? I was more on the emotional side, like, wow, someone that looked like me came to trick me. So then the lady was looking, so then she told me $25,000, and I'm like, okay, I'll be back. How am I going to give her that money, you know? So I'm thinking. Then I go back to my air fresheners, and I was selling them as a pack. So it was 6 air fresheners. I was selling the pack of 6 for like $45. And they weren't selling. It was very low, the sales. So a couple of days after, I go back to my studio, and I'm kind of sad. I'm looking at my mom like, vendí mi alma al diablo. And I don't even want to tell her the truth, you know? What am I going to tell my mom? Go back to the lunch truck. I failed? Hell no. So then I go back to my studio during that week. I grab the air freshener and I'm like, $10 each, including shipping and handling and taxes, everything. So I didn't make $10. I probably made $5 off of each air freshener, right? So I had like 3,000 air fresheners that I had made. Boom, boom. Like 6 different dolls, you know? I don't know how many air fresheners is that. So next thing you know,
lot.
Yeah, it's,
It's
a
a
lot.
lot.
It's a lot. And I'm selling them for $10. So then I put them on the website. I split each one individually. I leave my studio and I'm home. I have a boyfriend at the time. We're kicking it. We're laying down. We want to go eat. And I hear my PayPal notification like, beam, 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 beam. And I'm like, wow, this is crazy.
¿Qué pedo? ¿Qué está pasando aquí?
Yeah. But it's just $10, you know? So I'm like, whatever. I don't know, $1,000. Whatever. The next morning I wake up and there's $35,000 in my bank account on PayPal. $35,000. I swear on fucking God and my mom and my dog. So I wake up and I'm like, I was like, 3,500? Nope. 35,000. All right. You gotta check, you know. I don't know. I was smoking the day before. My boyfriend at the time was like a big like wax maker. He had like a wax brand, so like I was right there with him acting cool.
What did he say? We made $35. Homie, I made $35,000.
You're just a boyfriend. This is mine. This is all me right here.
Stick to your wax, fool.
Yeah. So I wake up and I'm like, all right, $35,000. What can I buy? I was like, oh, I can go to Beverly Hills right now. I go to the Chanel store. I could go to Mastro's right now.
In Malibu in front of the beach.
Yeah, the one, yeah.
Un pinche tomahawk steak.
Or Gladstone.
Oh, right there on PCH.
I'm like, I could do some baller stuff right now with this money. And I was like, oh, okay. All right, universe. You have presented me with this opportunity to be able to get the fuck out of this shithole that I'm in. Because I was too trusting. I only need 25, and then I have 10 left to pay the bills and to pay the rent. Because by then, I was already at like $3,000 on my bank account. It was like 5 months that I wasn't receiving no money.
Because she was starving you, basically, essentially.
And in California, there's a law where you cannot starve an artist. If you have an artist working for you and they have designed for you and created work for you, you have to righteously pay them. You cannot starve an artist. I don't know what the law is, but you cannot starve an artist, you know? Like, because there's so many contracts where artists get fucked over. And artists, I'm sorry, but we're weak and we're loving and we have dreams. So sometimes when somebody comes through with a contract, artists fall for it. Look at how many singers are stuck in bad contracts. It's the same thing for painters. A bad contract will leave you starving.
Review your contracts. Whatever it is you're signing. You might think, I don't want to spend money. I don't want to spend money on an attorney. I don't want to pay somebody to review it. It's going to save you time, headaches. It's going to save you everything.
California Art Preservation.
Is that the law? So
There it is.
California Art Preservation Act. You cannot starve a living artist. You cannot make an artist work for no profit. Yeah, so they were starving me, and I was spending all the watercolor money from the watercolors that I was selling, $2,500 a day that I was making. All that money I still have saved. So then that money was going into paying my bills, but I wasn't doing the watercolors anymore because my inspiration was dead. Because I was being an artist, I was sad, trying to figure out how to get the fuck out of that contract. But like in those 5 months, the first 3 months were okay. By the 4th, 5th month, I'm like, wait, so when do I get paid again? And that's when I was like, oh my God, bad contract. So $25K, trademark all my dolls, cancel everything, get me out of the mess that I'm in, form my business formation, San Oner, and she was able to find that, you know, like first of all, they were starving me as an artist. The second one, were you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol when you signed it? Yup, a lot. A lot. And then the third one was that I have any legal representation when I signed the contract. I had none. I just trusted, like on some hood stuff, you know? I was like, all right, let's do it.
Chocolate. Okay, boom. Hey, I trust you. I trust you. All right? Don't screw me over. And then, toma.
Literally.
Yeah, so basically the law states that if somebody resells your art and makes over $1,000, they need to pay you at least 5% royalty.
Send me that. I'm going to need that little paper right now. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy because a lot of artists get screwed over because we're so genuine, you know? And we generally want to just be noticed, and we want to paint, and we want people to love our art and tell us, good job. This is amazing. But in the reality of it, artists have to eat, and we have the right to be successful, you know? Like, I've heard, like, oh, she's not making art. She's probably doing OnlyFans. That's how she pays for everything. What? I mean, no, that's not even, nothing wrong with that. But I'm like, no, I really just only do art. I've heard, like, oh, she's probably an escort. What do you mean? Me? I'm like, why do I have to do other things, you know? Like, I only do my art. And thankfully, it's been a great business that I started. But I was able to get out of that. Then I was able to pay my rent. And then from there, it was on.
And this was when? In
2015. By 2016, I was done. Boom.
Boom.
And 2016, that's when the real money started coming in. And I was like, okay. The first 35K was already like, hello, get ready.
It was like a fucking, it was just like a little taste.
Yeah. And it all started because I decided that I was going to be an artist, that I was going to paint dolls. I went out there to go do sign painting and decided that this was not fulfilling me. I wanted to do my dolls. And because I always wanted my brand to be like a legit brand, like Hello Kitty. Like, I want you to look at my brand and be like, wow, this is good. This is really nice, you know? Like, I always wanted to make sure that my brand was a real brand. So at first I would paint everything, hand paint it. I'll buy purses, leather vintage purses, and paint my dolls on them. But the idea was to make actual purses, like I do now, you know? But it started with the air fresheners. Well, the watercolors,
And
then
then,
through that, I was able to invest in the air fresheners. And I didn't get ignorant. I didn't get ignorant until like 2017. I went and bought 2 Bentleys. Started collecting watches. Went cycle shopping on buying a Gucci, Prada, Chanel, you know, being a chaka. But I'm back to Nike, though. I'm back to Nike. This is my first month wearing Nikes.
we're bringing it down. We're bringing it down. It's just, you know, I think when
We
you're
all have
new,
a faith. You gotta have that faith.
Yes.
When you're being ignorant, but then it's like, hey.
because I think this is
Wake
what I
up.
think. When you come from like where we
Nothing.
come from,
The hood, yeah.
and you start making money, you start doing wild shit because you're not used to it, and you feel that, oh, I'm making all this money.
Oh, I felt like I was the man.
So I'm fucking, you're going to stop dropping money here, stop dropping money there, because I think it's new to you. So it's a phase.
Yeah.
So I know who's new to money now, as in, you know, years later, but it's just a phase that we have to go through. But I bet you now that you are continuously making money, that shit ain't the same. You're like, nah. You're a little bit more conservative. Like, nah, ni madres. I'm not going
I don't want to buy nothing. I don't even want to go out. I don't even care for bottle service anymore. Like, yeah, right here.
Dude, I
the
bought
bottle.
some Louis Vuitton shoes.
No,
in
my
20
man.
wait how funny, I kept them for okay, watch. So I went, this is like 2018. I was like, yeah, I'm paid $1,000 for some shoes.
Did you walk in there cash?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Hell
thought. Yeah, you thought you really
I
felt like you were the man,
I thought I
huh?
was the coolest motherfucker ever, right? Fucking drive back home, look at those fucking shoes. I'm like, why the fuck did I buy these shoes? Like, what was the point?
Validation.
24 hours I lasted with those shoes. I took them back. And I said, nah, dog. Go and buy me some Vans, homie.
Yeah.
Like,
Keep it real.
yeah, like, bro, like, nah, hell nah. I think I had buyer's remorse the whole time because I was like, $500 in each shoe. I'm gonna put them on. And it's like I'm stepping on $500 each. So I don't think that I just didn't find it.
It's the hood in us and the need for validation and the need to show that we're doing better because we're wearing chaca shit, because we're wearing expensive stuff. Look at all the songs. Louis Vuitton y tomando champán con las morritas y con mis Balenciagas. It's all part of the game. You know, like the Bentley is dirty. Like all these songs, you know, like I remember watching Maze, like welcome back. You know, you like it. And you have the two Bentleys. See, the game ain't the same. Like, I'll just be like, yeah.
Is that what made you go buy two Bentleys? Like, I want a fucking Bentley.
Well, yeah, because I was like, I want to bring some dope shit to the hood. Like, I want to show all the girls in the hood, like, look, I'm popping. We got this. You don't have to be a mom. You don't have to bow down to a man. You can do it with your eyelashes, with your nails. You can do it with your microblading. You can do it with your hairstyling. You can do it with your own body, mind, brain, skills, talent, and mouth. You can talk a good game. You can fucking hustle. You can do it as a woman. You just cannot listen to anybody. Because I'm telling you, when I started painting, all the guys were like, nah, that shit's whack. You can't paint dolls and ask for permission. You got to do it illegally. And I was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to get raped in the process at 2 a.m. while I'm doing a wall. It's true. I'm a woman. If I walk up into a dark place in the middle of the night by myself, what's going to happen? You really think I can walk around the streets of LA doing illegal stuff by myself? No. So I'm going to do things correctly, and I'm going to do it my way, in a way that benefits me, that makes me happy, and that makes me feel calm and at peace, which is I'm going to go in the morning with my chihuahua and paint a mural. Then I'm going to go to my studio in downtown LA, and I'm going to do a video on Instagram and talk about love stuff. And then I'm going to drop a notebook. Like, I have my own way of doing things, you know? And many times, I remember one time I went out with this guy that I met on Plenty of Fish. On Plenty of Fish. She was from like Washington, living out here in LA, which he tried to cheat on me. But before he cheated, I knew he was going to cheat. And he had told me he wanted to get a doll tatted of mine on his ribcage area. So I took him real quick. The day before I knew his actual girlfriend from Washington was coming into town, I took him to my friend's shop. It was Triggs. Triggs is a legend in the graffiti world. Triggs. J4F. So I took him to his shop in the valley, and I was like, Triggs, tell Saul to do a tattoo of my doll really big on that white boy's freaking ribcage. He's trying to play me. So I'm going to leave him a fucking memory that you don't come to LA and try to play an LA chola. And he was like, say no more.
And he did it?
We were all in it. The doll was like this big, huge, throwing up the west side. Right here. And the guy was like 6'4". So it was a really big doll. And he told Saul Mora, the tattoo artist, my friend, he's like, make sure she had blue eyes and red hair. Like his girlfriend, right? So this guy's all passed out getting tatted. I'm like, Saul, brown eyes, brown hair. So when he woke up, the doll was me. Ah! I made sure the doll looked just like me. All my features, you know? And I remember he told me one time, he's like, if you're so known in the streets, why are you so broke? And I'm like, I don't know, because I'm trying to figure out the money part.
He told you that?
Yeah.
That motherfucker.
This was back in like 2012, you know? So things didn't...
It's a work in progress, fool.
I'm working on it, you know? But that's the thing. Everyone's trying to test your gangster. Everyone's trying to test your candor and your character, like JR. What's up with the podcast you're doing? The little podcast. The little? You don't see my setup? You have a nice setup. You got 3 cameras. You got your assistant back there. Wow, you're doing good. But to some people, they're going to discredit us, right? Like, how's your little thing going on? I've had it when people are still like, hey, how's your little shows going on? Bitch! I made 9 racks today. What the fuck you mean, little bitch? How's your minimum wage? Nah, I'm just kidding. Hey, we all gotta start somewhere, but don't.
We gotta start somewhere.
But don't press a hustler about their money situation. Not yet. Especially when the hustler is struggling, trying to get the hustle on. Like, wait, there's no money yet, but it's coming. Like my mom should always be like, "¿Cómo te fue? Did you do good?" And I'll be like, "It was great, mom. They're gonna call me. Me van a llamar." Dejé un montón de tarjetas. Tiré un montón de business cards. por toda la Whittier, la Olympic, por toda la Washington, mom. Tiré un montón de tarjetas. Me van a llamar. But deep inside, I'll be like, fuck, are they gonna
You're a
call
fucking
me?
hustler, though.
Yeah, and there was days when I'll go
That
home
matters.
sad. I'll go home sad and be like, oh, fuck. Today I made no money. I spent like $10 on my burrito. I spent 10 on gas. And I got no sign painting.
What kept you going? Because we all go through shit like that, right? There's days that you're like, puta madre. What the fuck, man? And then you start thinking about what other people have said, and you're like, damn, these motherfuckers, fuck, am I doing something wrong here? Like, what keeps you going? Or at that time, before you blew up, like, what was going through your mind that you were like, ni madres?
And this is 2009, 10, 11. Instagram quotes and memes weren't in yet. All those inspirational quotes, keep going. Don't let nobody tell you different. All that stuff wasn't real yet. It was all inner freaking strength and inner courage to want to make something happen, It was before somebody recorded you and put you up on the gram. So I remember being on Whittier Boulevard, and I had my bike and my little box of paint, and I'm right there doing like a marisco place, right? Mm-hmm. And a friend walks by, and it was after school, and I had already graduated. So the next graduating year, I knew all those people, right? So I'm right there painting like on Garfield and Whittier. And this guy named Nestor, I think was his name, walked by. He's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I have my own business. I'm a sign painter. And he was like, all right. And he just walked away. Then I saw two cousins of mine walking by because they went to that school too. And they were just like, kept walking. And I'm like, damn, am I looking that ghetto right now? But I was like, I don't know. I just refused to go to college. I refused to go back to college. I don't want to go to ELAC. I don't want to.
ELAC was the...
That was my college that I was supposed to go to.
I went to ELAC.
Okay, props to you, JR. I just didn't want to go back to college. I just didn't feel
I
it
didn't
in
learn
me.
shit, though.
I didn't feel it in me. I'm like, I like the streets, And if I don't sell dolls or do signs, I'm going to sell something, but I'm not going to college. I know I got hustle. I'm not going to sit in a desk, and I'm not going to open up a book because that's not me, And my mom would kind of like dabble back and forth with being very supportive. But then all the cocineras that worked in the lunch trucks next to her, they'll be like, mira tu hija toda sucia, toda despeinada, en bicicleta, toda pintada. Que se vaya a trabajar, que se vaya al colegio. Tiene papeles, es de aquí, parece pordiosera. And my mom would just be like, she's an artist. She's working on her art. Ella va a ser pintora, déjenla en paz. No la molesten. So my mom will back me up. That's why I got my mom. That's why I got her. Else I'll be like, bitch, bye.
Shout out a la mamá. Saludos y mis respetos.
Yeah, my mom will be like, no, ella es pintora. And she was my first investor.
¿Y sabes qué? Lo más feo es de que te digan que tus hijos valen madre. I was going to say valen verga.
Uh-huh.
That's ugly, And as a parent to deal with that, and she still had your back.
Yeah, she had my back. Yeah, my mom would be like, no. And then she'll come into the garage, because I started in my garage. And she'll be like, hola, hija, ¿cómo estás? And I'll be there like at 2 a.m. painting, just by myself. Painting with no clients, with no collectors, with no spotlights, with no one giving a fuck about what I was doing. I'll be there by myself, but I was very hopeful and optimistic that eventually the clients were going to come, and eventually all the paintings that were not selling were going to sell, but I was just working on it. I wasn't ready because there was no clients yet, because I wasn't ready. So I needed to create the body of work, and I needed to create all my dolls for the clients to come. So it wasn't because I sucked or because it wasn't cracking. It was because I just wasn't ready yet. So I had to really work on it every single day. So every night I'll be in my garage, painting, drawing, creating dolls, doing giant paintings. And if somebody would be like, Sam, there is a rave, come live paint, I'll be there. I didn't care if I wasn't getting paid. I would be there. I've done so much free work just to get in the door. All my murals, I've only been paid for maybe 2 murals in my life. Every single mural you will ever see has been paid by me, self-funded, painted by me with my little hands, 5 feet tall. with my strength, with my ganas to not quit and to make sure that my dolls do work out. Because I don't want to quit my dolls. I love my dolls. I cannot see myself doing something else, you know? If I was to quit my dolls, I failed. I failed in life. I failed at myself. I failed myself, and I failed my dolls that have been with me forever. My dolls and this dog. This dog has been with me through my whole journey.
No
he
way.
was born in 2011. So this man right here has been rolling with me for 12 years.
He's seen.
If he could talk, he'll be like, man.
Remember that one time when nobody gave a fuck about us?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck them.
Oh, he's got a seat in my Bentley for sure. Put all the hairs you want.
So, this is deep right here.
So what kept me going? Just, you know what? I would think when I would be walking down the street, I'll be like, my mom didn't come to America for me to be a fucking quitter or a lazy bitch. My mom's in that lunch truck getting burned, cooking. I'm going to go walk the streets and I'm going to go sell my sign painting skills. And I'm going to get work. You know, I'm not going to be shy and I'm not going to get embarrassed because it was embarrassing. It's broke shit, you know? You're walking around and you're like I would see people that I knew and they'll pull up on me in their cars. They'll be like, what's up, Sam? What are you doing? Oh, I'm doing a sign. Oh, so what's up with you? Oh, I'm a sign painter. I have my own sign business. It was called Window Pimping. That was my sign business. Shut up, fool. Throw the water.
No.
Look it up. It's right there. Window pimping.
Shit.
You'll see my first job. Window pimping.
And that's when you were what?
I was like 17. I already had a business card. And I was walking around selling my work. Window pimping. I believed in it. I believed in my business. I believed in my hustle. And I believed that people were going to pay for my skill. Window pimping, it's a blog. On the first page, scroll down or something.
You never give up.
No, I've always felt like whatever I will do has to always revolve around my art, you know? And I'm not going to be shy and I'm not going to be embarrassed to sell it. I'm going to just sell it.
And how about all these people? The ones that walked by you when you were doing your murals, when they laughed, when they said, what the fuck, get a real job. Like, where are they now? And how does it feel? Like, do they hit you up? Like, hey, let me make one of your dolls.
Well, you know what's crazy? I recently went to a house of a friend that I had taken with me that first day that I left my garage and took my little bucket over the bridge down Olympic to downtown LA to go look for a studio. I took her the first day to go look for a studio with me. And that first day I found a studio, right? But the whole time she was complaining. She said, this is stupid. Let's just go back. My feet hurt. I'm hungry. Like, come on, San. And I was like, girl, I'm a girl just like you. Whatever you're feeling, I feel it too. But I have to find my art studio. We're going to keep walking around downtown LA. And she was like, but I'm tired already. So we literally got into a fight. I have not talked to her since 2014. Until recently, last week, I went to her house.
How was that? Oh, cheese, man.
I went to her house. Yeah, I went to her house because in 2017, when I was already popping, she sent me a DM. She was like, hey, girl, it's me. You know, just saying hi to you. You know, maybe I could work with you. And I was like, block yourself, bitch.
Got him.
But then again, she's not conditioned like me. She's not like me. You know? She wasn't like rough like me. Like, I'm going to get it and it's going to happen. I don't care if my feet hurt. I'm going to walk these streets and I'm going to find a studio. It wasn't her dream. I brought her on, you know, to walk around to look for my dream, but it wasn't her dream. And at that time, she didn't understand. She was little, you know? She was like, I don't know, 18, 17. She was smaller than me. So I knew, like, okay, she doesn't get it. But it took me a long time to forgive her, you know? So last week, I was eating by her house pho. On Garfield and Whittier, there's a pho place, and they have vegan pho, vegetable broth pho. So I'm right there eating, and this guy pulls up with a long ponytail, Eric from high school. He's like, I knew it was you. And he sits down, and I'm right there eating. I'm like, I sat on the outside seating area. And I was just right there, like, thinking about my life, you know? And he's, like, talking about high school days, and we're just catching up. And I was like, you know what? As I was getting in my car, I'm like, I'm going to go look for her. She's only a minute away. So I pulled up and I bang on the door. And I called her name out. I'm like, ah! And she comes out. She's like, what did I do? I'm like, nothing. That's the problem. You've never done shit. You've never called me. You've never looked for me. I'm like, let me in. She's like, okay. And then the mom like, ¿Son? I'm like, ¿qué onda? I'm like, al grano, a lo que vine. Vine a usar el baño. And she's like, I'm kidding.
Nah.
But let me use your restroom, though. So I use the restroom, and I come outside. And then the brother, he's like, guess what? I'm a teacher now. I'm an English teacher. I'm like, how old are you now? He's like, I just turned 35. I'm like, shut up! You're an OG! And he's like, I know. And he's like, and I always tell my students that you were my neighbor, and they don't believe me. I'm like, well, let's take a selfie right now, and let's do a video. But then I went back to my friend. I'm like, look, I've been mad at you for a long time. She's like, I know, because I was complaining. I'm like, you already know? She's like, yeah. I'm like, I've been mad at you for a long time, and when you hit me up, I wasn't ready to accept you back. I know I told you block me, bitch, but unblock me whenever you can. I was like, and let's be friends again. I was like, it's not your fault. It wasn't your dream, it was mine, and I dragged you along with my dream. And she was like, she was like, you don't even know what I've been through.
So did you make the forgiveness doll already?
No.
And like, what did she tell you?
I still have a lot of grudges. I don't forgive everybody.
Only some.
Only some.
Only
Petty
some.
fights, you know? But her, look, she didn't believe in it. She didn't believe in it, you know? She thought it was a joke. That's why I was so angry at her. Like, you thought it was a joke. And instead of being like, you know what, I'm hungry, my feet hurt, but let's go. She was just complaining.
Everybody is always going to think that your dreams are a fucking joke.
Yeah, it was a joke because there was no money yet. There was no credibility yet, you know? So to her, it was just like, oh my God, this is boring. I get it. I understand, you know? But years later, she messaged me and I was like, block yourself, bitch. That felt good. A lot of people messaged me back and I was like, fuck you. But now I'm not like that anymore. Message me again. Maybe I'll be nice. I'm a different person now.
I try not to be like that. But
It feels good,
but no,
though.
it feels amazing because I'm never going to forget some of the shit that was said.
Hey, look at me now.
You know?
I'm getting paper.
And then, hey, remember like, oh, that's cute. You guys started a podcast.
Oh.
It's cute.
You
I'm gonna
little,
show you cute,
you little
motherfucker.
podcast.
I'm
Little.
gonna show you
fucking
cute,
hate it when they call me
motherfucker.
little.
You know, and I'm like, oh, really? Okay. But I always stay focused.
Yeah.
But it's a hustler's mentality. You know, like, not everybody's going to operate like you, and not everybody's going to operate like me.
Yeah.
When I hear shit like that,
Watch me belittle you.
I'm like, okay, cool. That's it.
And they're gonna watch the story.
And that's when I redid the room twice.
It looks good.
Yeah, and I was like, no. I called the lady, saca todo eso, por favor. Because, you know, I'm always nice to everybody.
It looks clean.
You know, because I had a different table, I had a different... Sáquelo, por favor. Y ponga esto...
Wait.
It's on... Well, I think the battery died.
Oh, hell no. Little bullshit.
It still looks good on camera, though. What's it called? So, I redid it because sometimes I'm like, okay, all right, got you, motherfucker. And we keep going, but not everybody's like that.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's unhealthy for us to keep grudges. At the end of the day, you've been blessed.
Yeah.
You're a hustler. You have this. Not everybody has that. And I think
it's candor and it's ganas and it's an air to us to not back down and not give up. Like, to me, whenever I feel like giving up, I'm like, I think of my mom hopping the border, because my mom had a choice to stay in Mexico City with me or to come over here. So my uncle passed me through the car, and then my mom jumped over because she was like, nope, I'm not going to be a single mom in Mexico City and be shamed on. I'm going to come back to LA and I'm going to make it happen in East LA with my daughter. So to me, I'm like, damn, Maria, you're a real gangster. I'm like, ¿qué te pasó? She's all like, ay, me da miedo todo. Because now she's older, so now she's like, no. I'm like, girl, you were wild. You jumped the border for me. I love it.
Y te valió madres.
Yeah, like my mom did 80% of the job. I don't have to hop the border. I don't have to dream of being here. I'm already here. We live in a dreamland. In a land where you could sell fucking vasos and be a baller. We live in the dream land. How dare we disrespect our parents' hard work, bringing us over here by being lazy, by being drug addicts, by being fucking lovers, by being, convicts. Like, all that shit, we got to stop. If we've been that before, great. Put it away. Put it in the box. What's the next you? What is the next you that's going to honor your parents' hard work to bring you to America? Like, I've been a couple of those things in my life, and I've self-cleansed myself, and I've been like, my mom will never suffer because of my own personal issues and because of my own personal choices. Whatever fucked up shit I've done in my life is my personal choices. It will never affect her. And I've never affected her. I've always been a great daughter to her. Whatever I've been through, whatever I've done, I've always been on time at the house. Hi, Mom, I'm here. If my curfew was at 10, all fucked up, I'll show up at 10 at night like, Ma, a la casa. My mom will never suffer for my own personal fucking dumb choices, But that's why I was like, okay, I'm going to take care of her ass. As soon as I could do it, I am. So the contract is done. My mom was already retired when I started doing those watercolors. So 2015, my whole life changed. The contract, the watercolors, then the person comes in, I sign the bad contract, then I style the air fresheners, $35K comes in, $25 to clear it, 10 more for the rent, and then from there, I made more products, more air fresheners, more stickers. I start making dolls, I start making sweaters. With that money, I paid the $2,200 for rent, and at that time, I moved us out of the little apartment that we lived in. That's why I was under pressure too, because we used to be in a little apartment, and I moved us to a 4-bedroom house. So now I had to pay the rent and the food. So that's why I was like, I need to figure it out now. And you see how everything fell into place? Like, I'm not really religious, but when I'm scared, I'm all about God. Por favor, Jesucristo. No, I'm religious, though. I'm a very good human being. But, I'm like, everything just being thrown my way. So I get it. I just got to keep it rolling. And I cannot lose my motivation. Neither can you. Every day you do the podcast, even if we have low views, fuck it, you do the podcast. And you keep doing your clips. Like, the way you edit your clips, like, I like them. You get the juicy stuff. And you throw it out there and you bait everyone and boom, they want to watch. Like, I was like, damn, yeah, that's good shit. Damn, JR. Yeah.
That's the man responsible right there.
Yeah, good
That's
shit.
my guy. Thank you.
Yeah, we cannot break.
We have bad days, and that's what it is, a bad day. We have to keep going.
So many people quit their businesses during the pandemic. You know what I did? I was literally laying down in a surgery bed in Mexico. I had just gotten my nostrils done because they were wider. So I got them tucked in, right? And I'm laying there all like, and I'm like, oh my God. If I'm the artist of the people, then I have to be for the people. Because so many influencers just take from their fans, but you will never be invited to an influencer party. The fan that buys that product will never get to go to the release of their makeup brand because they're nobody, but they're the ones that are somebody. That person that works a 9 to 5, that little person that has 20 followers, they're the ones that pay for your lifestyle. They're the ones that bought your makeup brand. They're the ones that bought that t-shirt that the influencer released, right? So I was there laying down next to an influencer that's really, really big, and she's like, you know what your problem is? You're too accessible to the people. You shouldn't be so accessible to them. You should only hang out with influencers. And she gave me the idea by telling me that. I'm like, wait, right now people are going to shit. And people that started a business and quit their jobs are losing their minds. So I'm going to do a market inside of my warehouse for free and have vendors every Saturday and Sunday set up.
Bro.
So all of 2020, I was getting letters from the CDC. 3 letters I got to quit my illegal flea markets because they're illegal gatherings that can contribute to the spread of COVID, and that they were going to send somebody to come investigate me. And if I was found guilty, I was going to have to pay $150 the hour for the person that came to investigate. I'm like, damn, they're giving me their whole budget right now. And I think it was like $650 will be the fine. And I was like, bring it. I got the budget, bring it. So every weekend, I would have 30 vendors. And every weekend was a different vendor. And people would show up. And it was free. And then when I realized, like, wait a minute, I got a big heart, but I have to pay the light, the bills, the water, the trash. I started charging $40 per table. $40 per table. People will be like, San, I made $500 today. Thank you. San, I made $300. I came with no money. Thank you. I can feed my kids. Thank you so much. Do I owe you anything? Nope. Just make sure you put a good word out there for me. Like, San's dope. The whole 2020. I didn't think. I was in that bed thinking, but I wasn't thinking. The minute I came back to LA, all on pills, fucked up because of my whole surgery, I was like, all right, as of next week, we're having a market. Who wants to be in my market? And it was crazy. Hundreds of people were trying to get in. We couldn't even fit everybody. So people, there was like a waiting list, but I was getting everybody in. 30 vendors Saturday, 30 vendors Sunday. We had night market and day market. Night market on Saturday, day market on Sunday. I'll put the music, I'll bring DJs, and we were just having it cracking. Cops would come to shut it down because people were complaining that I had a market with no social distancing. I didn't give a fuck. I was like, you're not going to scare me. You don't shut Walmart down, and you don't shut McDonald's down, and you don't shut Target down. You're not shutting me, the little person. Big shit right here. I didn't shut down.
I wish we need to get that shit done. Ba, 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 ba.
Yeah, everybody was shutting down.
Because it wasn't fair. How are you gonna tell?
Look at Walmart, crowded.
How are you gonna tell? Like, it's like saying this, like, you cool. Oh, no. Fuck you. Like what they did to us, to like the landlords? Homie. That was not cool. Oh, you're
a landlord. Oh, the no paying rent.
Oh, bro. I got sleep like this in March. Like fucking eye twitching. Like,
did you have drama because of that?
You know what? I treat people right.
Right.
All my tenants, they really like me.
Right.
You know, I do a lot for them. You know, like whoever had a real issue.
What do you got? You got apartments?
Yeah.
Míralo. A ver, tell me about you. Wait, who the hell is JR?
Yeah, well, that's one of my main things. I invest in apartments.
Okay.
So, but I invest in I grew up in HP, so I invest in like the surrounding neighborhoods and in HP.
Ooh.
So I stay local, everything that I do. So for the most part, all my tenants, they've been with me forever, for like over 10 years.
Oh, wow.
So we have that, you know, I treat them like human beings, like they're fucking regular people. You don't have to fucking talk to people a certain way. Like, so, ay, mijo, que no puedo, okay, no hay problema. ¿Cuándo lo puedo pagar? Boom.
Right.
So I only had one issue, and that was with my newest tenant. You motherfucker, he was a piece of shit. Anyway, it's like, there's always that one person that trusts you, you know? But, like, for the most part, I was good. But I think it has a lot to do with the relationship that I have with them, because I treat them right. It's like I have like this, if something goes wrong, the plumbing, everything, like within 48 hours, I have it fixed. Okay. It's actually 24.
Okay.
But I need some cushion because depending, but I have everybody there. Boom, boom, boom. So I really didn't have, I was very blessed and very fortunate to not have issues.
Nobody got crazy. Nobody rebelled.
No. But that's not the same story for other people.
Right.
So it's like I could really just sit there and be like, so what? I mean, no me pasó nada. But I know people that it was not cool, man. They did, well, but then again, it was designed for that. But we don't want to get into the conspiracies. But, you know, I'm just like, damn, it sucks. And it wasn't fair because I think landlords, small businesses, they were not so nice to us.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just, it is what it is, and we survived it. I mean, man, let me tell you.
I mean, I'm a business owner. You
know?
know?
And it's like, when they would announce things like on the news,
it will freak you out.
It would just be like,
I stopped watching the look.
Pinche ataque, like I'm gonna fucking have a, you know, and I'm a good person.
Yeah.
And I was just like, well, it's irrelevant, good person or not. It was just, it was really stressful, and people don't see that side of the business, of the shit that we had to go through during, you know, we never experienced a fucking pandemic.
I know.
In our lifetime. Now we could talk about it.
I was like, so what do we do?
You know what I mean?
I went crazy. You know what I did? I bought costales, like, I don't know, 50 pounds, 100 pounds of beans, red beans, black beans, pinto beans, Peruvian beans, white rice, wild rice, brown rice, I don't know, some other kind of rice. I bought oat so I could make oat milk. I bought huge pounds of soybeans to make soy milk. I bought dried fruits, dried vegetables to make like a vegetable soup if anything went down. I bought like I had like 80 big tanks of water, like those big gallons of water, the 5 gallons or something. I was like, I don't know what's going to happen, but you will not see me in the line for soup or porridge.
Fucking survive with beans and rice.
Yeah.
That was the easy part for me. Me vale madre. Yo como pinche arroz. But I had to come up with plans already. Like, I needed my backup plans. Like, what if this shit gets out of control?
For long, right? What if it gets longer?
Like, I'm like, fuck, okay.
I was more worried about the financial side of it. Like, yeah, of course, you know, I know what they were saying, but I was like, wait, they're trying to shut us all down? What are we supposed to do?
So, okay, I said this before. So you were telling the tenants, hey, tú no tienes que pagar nada. No hay pedo, güey. Pero tú, güey, tú tienes que pagar todo, cabrón, ¿eh? Y a ti no te... landlord.
The landlord,
Y a ti no te vamos a dar ni madres, güey. Hazle como seas, cabrón. Pero tienes que pagar el agua, tienes que pagar... How is that?
Fair, yeah.
So it just leads to one conclusion in my mind.
What?
They wanted us to lose properties.
Probably, yeah.
No, and that's
what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people lost. Like I had just gotten my warehouse when the pandemic hit, and I'm like, I literally called the companies that were making like arcade machines for me because it was supposed to be like a playhouse for all my collectors. I called the company and I'm like, stop making the ping pong machines and the Atari stuff and the the Pac-Man. Like, stop making the custom stuff. I'm not gonna buy it anymore. Just stop. So I lost all my deposits. Right? I was getting a custom table done. I'm like, pause it. I'm not even gonna continue. Just pause it. And I'm like, what am I gonna do? And that's when I came up, you know, with the idea, like, oh, I'm just gonna do a market. I'm gonna be of service to the people. I have a big warehouse. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm gonna do what I think is right. I have a big warehouse, and I can open it up. And whoever comes after me, fuck it, so be it. So CDC and then cops were trying to shut me down, but I didn't care. And there was comments like, oh, you don't give a fuck. I give a fuck. But Walmart's open, and so will I be open. And I had people that were, you know, that sold clothing, that sold things that people couldn't even get in stores. You couldn't even get a haircut. Fuck it. We were giving haircuts in there. There was girls doing pedicures there. Like, no, not pedicures, manicures. Like, there was girls getting groomed, doing their waxing. Like, everybody was trying to survive, you know? And there was people that came that had actual shops inside of malls that couldn't even sell in the malls anymore because all the malls were shut down. There was this lady named Lucy. And Lucy was inside of Tres Amigos Swap Meet in South Central. Mm-hmm. She sold like rockero stuff, like piercing stuff, playeras. She lost her spot. And now she was a street vendor. From being there for over 10 years, she became a street vendor. So she walked in there one day. And when she walked in there, I had like a soft spot for all the Hispanic older people. So I would tell my sister, because my sister was the one that would manage coordinating all the vendors, right? Mm-hmm. I would be like, shipping lady, that's her name. Shipping lady, if you see any older people coming in here looking lost, go straight to them. Don't ignore them. They have a question. And yeah, we had eloteros, señores that sold like pulseritas. They'll be like, oigo que aquí la gente viene a vender. ¿Cómo yo puedo vender? And I'll be like, sí, venga. Mañana tenemos una vendimia. No voy a cobrar nada, es gratis. Traigas una mesita de 6 pies, 6 por 4 pies, una sillita. Usted y una persona más pueden venir y traiga todo su producto, ¿ok? Y aquí los vemos. And they'll come. They'll be like, hola, ok, venga, se me pone usted aquí. Que tenga buen día, don. Y para pagar, aquí no se paga nada. Aquí me paga Diosito. And they'll be like, okay. And yeah, like Lucy, I made sure she was always there selling her rocker stuff, you know? And then, yeah, later on, like 6 months into it, I was like, $40 a space, guys, because the budget is draining and I got to start charging, you know? But it was nothing. $40 was nothing. That was one little basita they had to sell.
That's why you're blessed.
Yeah. You give me, I give it right back. And everybody keeps it in rotation.
I had posted something on my note today. He made me take it off.
Oh, hell nah. Why?
I said, people don't got shit because they're pieces of shit.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's true, yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but they're going to listen to it.
Some clients that probably don't got shit, so they're going to take it personal.
No.
Yeah, but
oh, shit. I didn't even think about it like that. Oh, fuck. I'm like.
You know who's a good person because they're successful and you see it. You see their light that emanates from them through their photos and through the moves they keep making. People could talk shit, you know, like, oh, fuck JR, he's a piece of shit, or, oh, Stan won, this and that. There's a reason why we're successful. There's a reason why great things come towards us. Because the fucking world knows that we deserve them, and they want to keep blessing us, so like that we keep helping others. So, don't listen to the streets and what they say. You got to pay attention and go up to the person and get to meet them. And, you know, like you know, on social media, like, there's one guy everybody talks shit about, and I'm like, damn, but the guy keeps making moves. I actually like him. He can handle the heat, you know?
Oh,
Not gonna say his name because he's popping. But everybody talks so much shit on him, you know? He's in the music game, and I'm like, damn, this motherfucker's popping.
Like, he ain't that fucking bad.
He
If
got
he
the
keeps
carro, the warehouses. I'm like, this fool's dope, you know?
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. To me, he's dope.
Yeah.
Of course, he's a shark. He's a businessman, but he's dope. And
Yeah.
when he keeps making money and getting blessed, it's because he's a good person, you know? I mean, not everybody's gonna like the contract they're in, so that's why as artists, we gotta fucking read our contracts. We gotta read our contract. The sharks are out there, and we're little fishes.
But people don't understand the behind the scenes. If you invest so much in somebody and you're risking it, we're taking the risk.
Yeah.
So there has to be some type of reward.
Of course.
It's not just, I'm all in on you, yeah, if you're fucking blow up,
And you leave me.
a la verga contigo. Like, that's not the way this works. I'm going to put in all my resources, my money, everything behind you because I believe in you. But when you blow up, because it could go two ways.
Not blow up or blow
You
up.
could not do shit and then goes all my money.
Yeah.
Or you could blow the fuck up and we both make it. But when you make it, that's when the problems start. Because everybody thinks that, oh, well, I made it. No, motherfucker. We made it.
Yeah. I
paid for so-and-so. But people then start getting big-headed. People start being like, oh, well, I'm the talent. Yeah, you're the talent.
But I'm behind
But I
you.
was the money,
Yeah.
homie.
I'm
And this
the
is the way it
knowledge.
works. I'm not saying go all in and fucking take advantage of the artist. I'm saying sometimes you gotta understand the way things work.
Yeah, somebody believed in you and packaged you and sold you.
Yeah, and read your fucking contracts. Pay an attorney. So what if they're charging you $1,000 to sit down and
Don't go buy a necklace.
you know what I'm saying?
Go pay the lawyer.
Take care of the financial. So of your financials. Take care of your contracts.
Don't go buy a Bentley and a Rollie.
Yes.
Go get a lawyer before you sign that
Yes.
contract. With the advance money you get, I didn't get no advance money. I wish I would have been on that. I probably wouldn't have gotten the lawyer either. Damn it! Go get a lawyer before you go spend the money that they give you in advance. Unless you have to sign the contract before the advance money. Damn it!
Well, still,
Sign
like,
a pro bono lawyer.
Yes.
There's got to be a pro bono lawyer out there.
and now with the accessibility that we have with these devices, you can't say you didn't know, motherfucker. All you have to do is pick up your phone and ask Google.
You know what I was thinking? I think you could translate a whole contract with AI.
Yeah.
Like, please simplify this contract
Yes.
for me.
Now AI is kind of scary because they actually can, but I will still be like, you gotta hire somebody, especially when it comes to your future, to your brand, to everything you work for.
That's what I felt too. I was like, this is my whole life. I'm not gonna let it go.
Man, when I started this, I'm like, oh yeah, it's fucking pretty cool name. Once you really think about it, like True Hustle, like damn, that shit's dope. Call my attorney, and this is my plan. Boom, 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 boom. Because you gotta have attorneys for this. You gotta have I have my eviction attorneys. I got my estate attorneys. Like it's like you learn all this shit. Like didn't nobody teach me that. My fucking college didn't teach me this shit.
Yeah.
I taught myself. I had to hire people. I had to make sure that everything was done right.
I told it to my mom, like, Mom, you only taught me how to pray and be a good person. Like, you didn't teach me how to do taxes, buy a house. I'm like, Maria, you taught me how to be a good person, which I love it, but I did my communion twice.
Chingas,
I did my first communion twice because one, the priest was married, so he wasn't a real priest. So it was all a
Oh, he
scam.
lied on his resume?
Something like that. Yeah, I was too little, but it was something along those lines, so I had to redo my first communion. The second time was true, but I'm like, Maria, I was there reading in catechism. For what? For what? Yes, it made me a good person, but didn't teach me how to hustle.
What made you, at what point did you say, you know what, maybe I need to start investing in some real estate and buy me a house and buy my mom a house?
So, hold on, okay.
Todos calmados.
I know. So 2016, 17, I already had a house that I was renting, a 4-bedroom house, and the landlord died. So the son decided to sell the house. So now we're getting kicked out of the house. And I had no idea that I could get like paid for each person that lives there $12K, right? Because they're kicking us out.
If it's in LA. Was it in LA?
Was in LA, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
so
LA.
now you have relocation fees.
So, I wish I would have known that. So I negotiated cash for keys, $1,500, and then I negotiated him paying for 2 months of my hotel stay at a hotel that I picked in Commerce, and for him to move everything to my new warehouse that I had just gotten, like all my furniture, everything. So I don't know how much he might have spent it, but it was way less than freaking $12K per person. That's why they were so easy at saying yes to my negotiation.
Yeah,
I
because
thought I was doing it. I wasn't doing it. I didn't know. So for 2 months I was living in hotel. For 2 months I was living in hotels trying to figure out what I was gonna do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the first week I'm like, okay, I'm gonna buy a house. I'm gonna buy a house because I feel like we don't have a root as long as we're renting. That's what I felt. I don't have a root to come back to. I don't have something that belongs to me. I want to feel the sense of ownership. And I feel like I need to buy a house. In this household is my mom, my brother, my sister, and I. And I'm the oldest. So we have a 10-year age difference, me and my brother and sister, you know. So I'm like, okay, I need to figure out how to buy a house. Because if I want to be prideful, I need to do this right. And I can't be prideful renting, getting mad at the landlord for coming to check on his property. It's his property. It's not mine. And when the lease ends, he can kick me out. I already got kicked out of the apartment. We're already getting kicked out of this house. 8 months into the lease. It was a 2-year lease. So they even broke the lease. So when the guy dies, they're like, oh, we're selling the house. And we're going to do open house every Sunday. So now I felt like I'm running a whole business for them, you know? So I was really bothered by that. So I was like, okay, if I'm going to be prideful, I'm going to do it right. I need to be a homeowner. Yeah, I guess that's the American dream, you know? I don't know. People can say, oh, it's not a good thing buying homes, but I just felt like it was something good for me.
For you.
In my heart as a family woman, you know? The young person in me was like, I want to go party. But the adult in me was like, you have a daughter, a son, and theoretically speaking, a wife, my mom. And you need to do things right. So I started looking for houses. Every weekend we'll go look at houses, Saturday and Sunday. My mom wasn't happy. My sister wasn't happy. They wouldn't like anything. So finally, I got annoyed by the second month. We lived in hotels for 4 months. And we'll stay in my warehouse sometimes. And then when I'll be able to get the hotel next day, we'll get a hotel and stay there for like 3 days, 5 days, a whole week. There was 2 hotels that I like. One in Commerce, the Travel Lodge, and one in Redondo Beach, San Pedro area. I don't know, in Redondo. So we were just moving around hotels. There was some hooker hotels that I would get by accident that had roaches and prostitutes outside. And I'll be like, damn, I gambled wrong on Priceline. On Priceline, you could gamble, and it'll give you the vicinity. And it will say, like, Commerce, and it'll throw me all the way to Norwalk. So there we go to Norwalk, because I picked the wrong hotel, and I gambled, and it was really cheap, but it was a bad hotel. When I'll get bad hotels, I'll go stay with my boyfriend. I'll be like, Mom! Peace out, Mom and little brother. So I finally found a house. I put a bid. I had all my paperwork in place, and I was able to buy it. So 2017, I became a homeowner. So I was like, oh, my God. The American dream.
And now it's probably worth
800.
Double.
Yeah, it's like 900, 800K. And it's almost paid off. Yeah. So my house, I think I owe like 100K on the house, and that's it.
Don't touch it. Just leave it there.
No, I'm not. I love the house. The house is for my mother. That's the bachelor house. For me while I'm single, for my brother, and for my sister while we're all single. We have a rule, like, we don't create children in that home. We can visit grandma's house, but that's not the house where we create children. All of us have to be successful individuals. We're not going to be popping kids in my fucking mom's house. That's just the rule that we have. So if my sister gets pregnant,
that's a good fucking rule. That's a good rule.
If my sister gets pregnant, she's out. If my brother gets anyone's pregnant, he's out. And if I get pregnant as the owner of the house, I'm out too. So we got this rule, like, this is not the house for building families. We're not going to be all crammed up.
Go build your own, basically.
Yeah. We're not going to be crammed up, so please think about it before you guys start making children. So my brother and sister, they're like, protection all day. Spermicide and condoms.
A fucking yearly subscription to Trojan. It's like, shit.
But yeah,
that's good though. I like that.
Homeownership makes me feel like an adult, you know? Like
Yeah,
that was
'cause
a very serious purchase that I made, you know? So I feel really at peace when I come home and I'm like, what do I got to fix today?
That's dope.
Do we need a plumber today? Because I can't call the landlord. I'm the landlord.
And that's lovely. It's in like this whole story. It's like it makes it really rewarding at the end, right? And this is this is the beginning.
Yeah,
I think into
to
something
me it
dope.
is. Yeah, I feel like the pandemic did pause us a little bit. All of us, we all had to scramble around for a bit. Like everyone was scrambling. Like I wasn't a market coordinator. I became a market coordinator.
I just think it tested a lot of people, and whoever says that didn't get tested, well, fuck. I don't even know. I don't even know what to say, but it tested a lot of people. It tested a lot of landlords, a lot of business owners, and it wasn't a good feeling. Now, we benefited after that year because shit went fucking crazy. Everything went bananas, and it probably made the most money ever. So, but at the beginning, it was.
How did you make the most money ever?
Oh, fucking shit. I don't know. Rates went down. So, boom.
Oh,
when rates
during
went
the
down,
pandemic, rates went down.
Yeah.
Right? 2.53 finance.
So then everybody was buying. Hey, you get a house. You get a house. You get a house.
During the pandemic.
Woo, fucking, yeah.
Shit.
So, but that was created too. Anyways.
Yeah, no. I know where you're going.
Now it's like, okay.
I can feel your conspiracy feelings
now
already.
we're paying, you know.
Yeah, and now they're back to 7 point something.
8. So now it's like, yeah. So and like, man.
The point is, I do believe in home ownership. I feel like I have a root now to come back to. I'll never sell that house. I feel so happy. Like, this is my root for my mom, my brother, my sister. We're not floating. No landlord can come and kick us out.
Nope.
Only the loan company, the bank, if I don't pay the house. But that's it. I'm not ever gonna stop paying the house. So I feel happy about that. I feel like a complete adult.
And they can raise the rent.
Exactly. My rent is forever the same.
That's
Exactly.
it. Like, you know, I started raising rents now, but it's like, man, you're paying what? I said to my tenants, like, what the fuck? I'm like, con razón, they fucking
Price
love
went
my
up.
ass. Ay, sí, mijo, they fucking bring me fucking tamales and all that, but they love me, and I'm like, I'm super cool with that.
How was it when you raised the rent?
They understand.
Yeah.
Oh, they know. Go ask.
Yeah.
You're like $1,000 less
than market value.
And they're like, ay, mijo, te queremos mucho. And I'm like,
un pozolito.
Yeah, un pozolito, mole, lo que quieras. And me, you know how people act like écheme más, por favor. And I'm like, are you fucking up the mole? Fucking, we ordered tamales from there. Like,
oh, that's dope. You have a good relationship with your
humans
with your
just like
tenants.
us.
You have a community of people.
Yeah, and I think.
How many buildings you got, JR?
It's like over 40, probably 48 doors. It's like 11.
11 buildings?
Yeah.
All in the hood?
Everything.
That's dope. And these are yours?
All mine.
Wow. And you started 10 years ago?
17 years ago. I was a kid.
Wow. When was your first purchase?
22. I don't know what the fuck I was doing.
Why did you make that purchase?
Because I don't want to pay taxes. Because I went to college and I fucking got my W-2. I got my job. And I was like looking at the fucking pay stub like, no mames.
How did you get the money?
I was working a gang of overtime. And you know how like...
You know, being a true hustler?
Yes. But you know what... You know how financial aid would give money?
Yeah.
You know how people would just go spend it on stupid shit?
Yeah.
Well, let's just say I didn't spend it on stupid shit.
Oh, wow. Damn. Hey, the government was my first investor, too. Because when I was 17, I would get food stamps.
Oh, shit.
And I would get cash, too. So with that, I would go buy
saving.
my little paint. And with the money, I would get hot food and cold food. So I'll give my mom half of the food stamps and the other to buy hot food wherever I could buy hot food at. So the government, thank you very much. I pay my taxes.
And you know what? Since we were low was independent. So we were low income, and I was independent because I had my son already at 18.
Oh, you were your baby daddy.
Yeah.
Oh, I give you
it was a fucking recipe for disaster. Like, my shit was like, no mames, you know? But, you know, I managed.
¿Andabas culeando?
Andaba.
NHP?
Fucking de pinche Capitán Pinga Loca. Dice, nah.
18. Oh, my God. How old's your son now?
He's 20.
Oh, my God. How many kids you have?
3.
Wow, how old?
28 and 4 months.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
On setting yourself up for success at a young age.
It wasn't, it was really difficult, but I think, you know, growing up, I wasn't favored by people, but I was favored by God. God carried me. I think he liked that. Is that him? I thought it was somebody outside putting, because you know they were fixing something.
Yeah.
So
wait, I know you're saying some deep shit in the back door.
But we made it happen.
Wait, God favored you. Okay, why did people like you? Because you were so positive and so committed.
I think so.
You were just too enthusiastic about life.
No, but I just think
you were not
I was gonna make it. There was no question about it. I was going to make it.
I've always been told that I'm not realistic. I don't want to be realistic.
It sucks.
The real world is fucking boring and it sucks.
It's boring.
This is how it's gonna go down.
I mean, I didn't know, like, at the time when I was buying these properties that it was gonna be like this. I just knew that it was right, and I needed tax write-offs and all that shit. And,
right.
You know, all the stuff that I taught myself, I didn't learn in college.
You learn it through trial and error and through being in the streets and actually applying your knowledge into it and learning.
Oh, I think the biggest asset that I had was growing up in the streets, because it made me see people for what they are and being able to call bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, hey, what? Fool, you got me fucked up, bro. Like, that attitude.
Yeah.
Like, man, you ain't gonna run game on me, bro.
Little snake.
You know, like, fuck you. You know, that's how I grew up.
And then you apply it to business.
Oh, yeah. And that's why I'm like, seeing everything that I've been through, that fool's really snoring.
Oh, he's relaxed. I'm surprised.
Looking at, because it's good vibes.
Yeah.
Looking at everything that I've been through in life, then seeing where I'm at now, I just be like, damn, it's like I could write a book.
Yeah.
It's just like crazy. But no matter how successful, no matter how high or how low, I always stay here.
Yeah, I feel like the streets made me really talkative, like hanging out like in the back crowds and stuff. Because I always knew, like, Sam, either you talk or you're getting fucked. I like, in the back of my head, the first time I ever went to a kickback, I was like, oh, this is how it works. So the girls are here to get fucked, and the guys are cool, and they're right here smoking. Oh, my God. I was like, all right, I'm going to get my talking on point, because I am not doing anything just to kick it and post up right here and smoke and have a good time. I'm going to be...
Hell nah.
I was like, I'm going to be just like the guys. I'm going to shoot the breeze. Talk shit, post up. What's up, JR? How you been, dude? Hey, you look good, dude. What have you been up to? How's your day going? Like, I was like, talk.
Talk before they fucking get frisky.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers.
I remember one time this guy named Boxer went and sat down next to me. Yeah, this guy out of jail. He sat down next to me and he hugged me. And they're like, get the fuck away from her. Not her. And he was like, he was so mad. And I'm like,
that's fun.
I talk. You can't touch me.
What advice would you give an artist, an upcoming artist? She or he is 18 years old and is trying to do what you did.
I was actually sitting down at a restaurant and I saw a painting, because the restaurant has paintings of different artists, right?
I've seen that.
And I saw the painting of a doll with big eyes. You know, I could be like, oh, she's trying to copy me. No. The style that I do is a style, just like there is chibi art, magna, just like there's realistic art, just like there's cartoony stuff. Everyone has a style. Like when you see graffiti letters, they look a certain way, you know, like everyone has a style. There's a style, and then you flip that style into your style and you give it your flavor. There's 1,000 taco stands everywhere. but each one is special because they have their own customer service, their own way of serving you, their own way of marinating, cooking it, you know, promoting it. The corner they stand in is probably popping. The other corner is probably not popping. It's the way you sell it. So when I saw that doll, I'm like, okay, she's trying. I like that. I would never be like, oh, you can't do a doll because I do dolls. No. There's 1,000 people doing the same shit. There's 1,000 burger stands. So what, there can't be another one? They're good. So to me, it's like, okay, if you want to be an artist, don't be scared. First, don't be scared to not sell because it's going to happen. But you have to create a style. And I do believe you have to talk. You have to talk, and that's going to sell your work on its own. You know, like me talking about love life, my love life, talking about my drama, my problems. It's what makes me relatable to all the girls that watch me. You know, when I wake up and I'm like, get up, screw your boyfriend. And they're like, okay, Stan, okay, I'm getting up, you know. And then they'll come back to me and tell me, hey, Stan, all the shit talking you give me every morning, you don't know me, but I know you. It helped me get over my breakup. And I'm like, really? So what do I sell you? What do you want to buy? And they're like, I'm here to buy something as a thank you for all the good words that you gave me while I was going through my heartbreak and depression. And I'm like, really? So to me, don't be scared to showcase your artwork. And you don't have to be in the art world. Because when I was in the art world, there was so many rules. You can't do this, you can't do that, you cannot be in an art gallery. So I do things different. I'm like a rebel. I have my own warehouse that I call my own art gallery, and I do my own art shows. And I have my own clientele that I created. Because I was starving as an actual artist, you know, like waiting for the gallery to sell my art, waiting for a gallery to want to represent me, waiting for people to want to paint with me. So I was like, I'm going to do everything the way I want to do it. Yo pinto acá, yo hago acá, my event. I'm doing an art show. Who wants to come to my art show? It's right here inside of this market right here. Pull up. I'm going to have t-shirts. So just being myself and having charisma and being talkative and not being embarrassed. If you're embarrassed, ya valió. You can't be embarrassed. Sell it. I got this cup with my artwork. $80. You know, people are going to be like, what? I made it. I drew it. I found the company. I created it. I sourced it. I have to store it in my warehouse. Trust me, this is the price. Respect my price. Because people are going to shame you on your prices. I get shamed a lot. Like, they'll be like, what? Your shirt is $80? It's not worth it. Don't forget where you come from. Oh, I know exactly where I come from. Trust me, I lived it. But I still have to charge my worth. I'm charging where I come from, my memories, my struggles, where I've been, where I've gone, and where I'm going in this sweater, in this shirt. Like, this shirt is $80 because of what I've been through, okay? Honor the artist while they're still alive. And stop questioning their prices, trying to make them feel insecure. Especially because we're Hispanic. Oh, no mames, $80? You forget where you come from. You're Mexican. So what if I'm Mexican? So I got to be European, white with green eyes to charge $80? But a lot of people respect my prices.
That's bars.
A lot of girls respect my prices, and those are the girls that I love. A lot of women and men respect my prices and honor me. Like tonight, we're having a watercolor night. And tomorrow. So every Friday and Saturday, I'm having watercolor nights, which is paint and sip. You get to drink. And
is that the one in Southgate?
Yeah, in my warehouse in Cudahy.
Okay.
On Firestone Atlantic. And like half
Where?
of it. Firestone Atlantic is my warehouse. I have a warehouse there in Cudahy.
Next to Rookit?
Next to where Potreros was. My warehouse is there, and I do watercolor nights. And I invite a lot of those girls that buy my art. I'm like, hey, it's on me. Really? It's $75, but today it's on me. Come pull up, drinks on me, alcohol on me, food on me. Come have a good time. And they'll be like, thank you, Sam.
And
I have a relationship with my clients.
Do you have a shop in Southgate?
I used to have a shop in Southgate and in East LA, but then I closed them down. Mm-hmm. I like doing online sales better. It's easier for me, less I feel like I don't have to be there in person all the time, you know? So when I want to see my collectors and my clients, I'll do an event and I'll see them all, you know? So I try to do something once a month, twice a month. But the stores, it was too much physical work. And everybody wants to come in when I'm there. So I'm like, ay, dramatic.
High demand.
Yeah,
damn.
Yeah. So they'll be like, where's that?
Careful.
I only want to go when she's there. And I'm like, damn, girl. So now I only open.
You popping, girl. You popping.
Yeah. Once I open 1 to twice a month, so like that, I'm there. And I'm not drained. And when they pull up, all my art collectors that buy my art, because these are my art prints. It's not just a notebook. It's a print of my art that's functional that you're able to use as a notebook. So I like to create art. I like to put my art on surfaces that are useful to people.
Okay.
I don't believe that art should just be hanging on a wall. It could. I do have canvas print, but I want you to take your art everywhere. On your shirt. On your jacket. Like, I want you to roll around with your dolls. I want everyone to know that you're a sand doll collector.
Damn. And that's branding at its finest.
Yeah, and my brand is dope. It's a real ass brand. Just like Hello Kitty, just like Betsy Johnson, it's real. And I paint for all the women out there.
Women power. Well, I enjoy this. Went very long, but I'm sure that everybody that's listening is gonna get nuggets. I'm sure that you're gonna be able to get a couple pieces that is gonna help you in your business and what in what you got going. But Sand, Oner,
Yep.
thank you so much for stopping by. I really enjoyed it. It was pretty long, but it seemed really short.
Yeah.
But thank you. Hit her up. Make sure you buy her dolls. Everything's online, right?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Just let them know where.
Yeah, you go to my website, sandoner.com, or come to my gallery whenever I have events.
Boom. And there we have it, folks. Bam.